Old Man Winter has arrived early, unleashing a massive Arctic blast across the eastern U.S. Over 190 million Americans are waking up to temperatures that feel more like January than November. This isn't a minor cool down. Temperatures are plunging 15 to 25 degrees below normal, from the Great Lakes to Florida. Meteorologists are calling this a major atmospheric shift, ending autumn's lingering warmth overnight. Cities in the south are seeing record-breaking cold, with conditions they usually don't face until deep winter. Weather officials are issuing advisories and warnings, urging everyone to take this cold snap seriously. It's time to dig out those heavy coats and gloves. Winter has made a dramatic entrance. The sudden freeze is changing daily routines and making headlines across the eastern seaboard. This is just the first taste of what's ahead for millions this season. Even Florida isn't escaping this Arctic blast, as a powerful surge of frigid air sweeps down from the north, gripping the entire state in an icy embrace. Record lows are being set across the state, shattering previous temperature benchmarks and leaving many Floridians reaching for winter coats and scarves they rarely need. In Orlando, residents woke up to the coldest morning since January 2023. The air felt biting, with wind chills making it feel like a bone-chilling 28 degrees. An experience that's almost unheard of in Central Florida. North Florida cities like Tallahassee and Jacksonville saw their thermometers dip into the upper 20s, while even Miami, famous for its tropical warmth, dropped into the low 50s. For many, it's a shock to the system. For Floridians, this is a rare November chill, prompting freeze warnings across the region. Local authorities are urging residents to protect sensitive plants, pets, and pipes from the sudden cold. The cold has triggered a uniquely Floridian phenomenon, stunned iguanas falling from trees as their bodies go dormant in the chill. These cold-blooded reptiles become temporarily immobilized when temperatures drop, leading to a bizarre sight on lawns and sidewalks. Residents are finding these frozen-looking lizards in their yards, but officials remind everyone, they'll recover once the sun returns. It's a strange but harmless event, and animal experts urge people not to disturb the iguanas as they warm back up. Seeing this kind of deep freeze in November is highly unusual, underscoring just how potent this Arctic air mass really is. It's a reminder that even the most familiar climates can surprise us. Tourists and locals alike are caught off guard, bundling up in layers and snapping photos of frost-covered lawns. Even the wildlife is feeling the shock, with birds and other animals seeking shelter from the cold. This cold snap is a vivid reminder that extreme weather can hit anywhere, anytime. Meteorologists say these events, while rare, are becoming more unpredictable as climate patterns shift. Florida's early winter is making history and headlines. News outlets across the country are reporting on the state's unusual freeze, and social media is buzzing with images of bundled-up Floridians and icy palm trees. The state is experiencing a cold snap that's both memorable and bizarre, with stories of frozen fountains, icy windshields, and, of course, those famous falling iguanas. Even the Sunshine State isn't immune to this Arctic blast, proving that when it comes to weather, Florida can still surprise us all. When we say temperatures are below average, it's more than just a passing comment about the weather. It's a scientific comparison, rooted in decades of careful observation and data collection. Meteorologists don't just look at yesterday or last week, they use a rolling average, typically spanning the last 30 years, to determine what's considered normal for any given day of the year. So, when today's temperature is measured, it's stacked up against this long-term record. If the mercury dips well below that average, it's a signal that something unusual is happening in the atmosphere. These records help us spot trends, track climate changes, and understand when a day is truly out of the ordinary. For instance, if it's 20 degrees colder than what's typical, that's not just a reason to grab an extra sweater, it's a major atmospheric event. Such a dramatic drop can disrupt daily life, from school closures to transportation delays, and even impact local businesses. Take New York City as an example. If the average high for this time of year is around 50 degrees but the thermometer only reaches 35, that's a significant departure from what residents expect. It's not just a cold day, it's a day that stands out in the city's weather history. These sharp deviations from the norm often prompt weather alerts and warnings. They're a heads-up that people, infrastructure, and even wildlife may not be prepared for such extreme conditions. Schools may close, power grids can be strained, and emergency services are put on high alert. Understanding what below average means helps you grasp the true scale of an Arctic blast. It's not just a local cold snap, it's a massive, rare weather pattern that can stretch across entire regions, affecting millions of people at once. So, when you hear the phrase below average, remember, you're experiencing a day that's colder than history suggests it should be. It's a reminder of how dynamic and sometimes unpredictable our climate can be. This isn't just a minor fluctuation in the weather, it's a dominant pattern that can have real consequences for our daily routines, our safety, and even our economy. The current cold snap is a clear sign of a powerful system at work, one that reminds us of nature's ability to surprise and challenge us. It's a powerful reminder that averages matter, and this week we're experiencing just how far from average the weather can really get. The feels-like temperature, or wind chill, is crucial during a cold snap. Wind strips away your body's natural warmth, making it feel much colder than the thermometer reads. For example, 34 degrees in New York City felt like the 20s this morning. In Orlando, 30s felt like below freezing. Wind chill isn't just psychological, it increases your risk for frostbite and hypothermia. Always check the wind chill before heading out. It's the number that truly matters for your safety. Dress for the feels-like temperature, not just the actual reading. Add layers, cover your ears, and wear gloves to protect against the real impact of the cold. Ignoring wind chill can leave you dangerously underdressed. The difference between chilly and dangerously cold is often just a gust of wind. Stay alert to wind chill forecasts during any Arctic blast. The Northeast and Midwest are getting their first true freeze of the season, with freeze warnings in effect. Central Park hovered just above freezing, but wind chills made it feel much colder. Cities like Burlington, Buffalo, and Albany struggled to rise above freezing all day. Lake-effect snow showers are bringing the first flakes to places like Pittsburgh and Vermont. The wind chill is dropping feels-like temperatures into the teens, making daily routines a challenge. Residents are adjusting, warming up cars, watching for icy patches, and prepping homes for the deep cold. Even a light dusting of snow is a visual reminder that winter has arrived. For snow-prone cities, this is just the beginning. This Arctic blast is a dress rehearsal for the long winter ahead. The Arctic air's reach extends deep into the South and Midwest. Carter County, Tennessee saw its first snow of the season, weeks earlier than usual. The Midwest is shivering with temperatures 15 to 25 degrees below average and wind chills in the teens. Commutes are more hazardous, farmers are scrambling to protect livestock, and heating bills are rising early. The abrupt shift from fall to winter has left little time to prepare. This widespread chill is a powerful reminder of how interconnected our weather systems are. From Tennessee snow to Florida iguanas, the nation is united in a shared shiver. Freeze warnings aren't just about cold. They're critical alerts for farmers, gardeners, and homeowners. When temperatures are expected to drop to 30 subdegrees or below, it marks the end of the growing season and puts sensitive plants at risk. Farmers rush to protect crops, especially in places like North Florida where citrus and strawberries are vulnerable. Homeowners need to prevent frozen pipes by disconnecting hoses, covering faucets, and letting indoor taps drip. Freeze warnings also signal it's time to bring pets indoors and check on car antifreeze and batteries. These alerts help communities prepare for the dangers of sub-freezing temperatures. A freeze warning is your cue to shift habits and protect what matters. It's a key tool for public safety and property protection. Don't ignore it. Take action when you hear a freeze warning. It's the official sign that winter conditions have arrived. When the cold hits hard, safety comes first. Winter weather can be beautiful, but it also brings serious risks if you're not prepared. As temperatures drop, it's important to take extra steps to protect yourself and those around you from the dangers of extreme cold. Dress in layers. Several thin layers insulate better than one heavy coat. Choose moisture-wicking fabrics for your base layer to keep sweat away from your skin, and add wool or fleece for warmth. Don't forget a waterproof outer layer to block wind and snow. Cover all exposed skin, wear a warm hat, and use mittens for extra warmth. Scarves and face masks can help protect your nose and cheeks from biting winds. Remember, heat escapes quickly from your head and hands, so keep them covered. Watch for signs of hypothermia. shivering, confusion, drowsiness, and slurred speech. If you or someone else shows these symptoms, get help immediately and move to a warm place. Hypothermia can set in faster than you think, especially in wet or windy conditions. Frostbite targets fingers, toes, nose, and ears. Look for numbness, tingling, or pale, waxy skin. If you suspect frostbite, avoid rubbing the area and seek medical attention as soon as possible. Check on children and elderly neighbors to ensure they're warm and safe. Young children and older adults are especially vulnerable to cold-related illnesses, so make sure they have proper clothing and a warm environment. Never use stoves or grills to heat your home. Carbon monoxide is deadly and invisible. Always use proper heating equipment and make sure your home is well ventilated. Use space heaters safely. Keep them on flat, stable surfaces and away from flammable items like curtains or bedding. Never leave heaters unattended, and always follow the manufacturer's instructions. Limit time outdoors and take breaks to warm up if you must be outside. If you start to feel very cold or tired, head indoors right away. It's better to be cautious than to risk your health. This is the time to be vigilant and prepared. Keep an emergency kit with blankets, food, water, and a flashlight in case of power outages or getting stranded. Cold weather can be dangerous, but smart precautions save lives. Stay informed about weather alerts and have a plan for emergencies. Stay alert, stay bundled, and look out for one another. Helping neighbors and checking in on friends can make a big difference during harsh winter weather. Winter safety is everyone's responsibility. By working together and staying prepared, we can all get the storm. Soccer store desponded the coldest days, safely and comfortably. Good news. The Arctic blast is a brief visitor. Temperatures will rebound over the next few days, with Wednesday already feeling warmer. By Thursday, cities like New York will see lows back in the 40s, much closer to normal. The worst of the freeze is ending, and typical November weather will return. This sharp cold snap followed by a quick warm-up is common in fall. Don't put away your winter gear just yet. Another cool down is possible this weekend. Enjoy the break, but remember, winter's just getting started. This Arctic blast was only the opening act for the season ahead.